The city of Ekurhuleni is quite abuzz this morning as we're anticipating that State of the City address to be deliberated by the Executive Mayor Imogen Mashazi. So joining me this morning on the couch right now is just to really touch base in terms of exactly how the city is faring so far. And to indulge in that conversation, I'm joined by Dr. Imogen Mashazi, who is Ekurhuleni City Manager. And first of all, I must say congratulations. First female city manager in the entire Gauteng.
Thank you very much, Faith.
It's just for you, I think, the opportunity to be like that and the opportunity to fulfill this role. What do you think it does for women empowerment?
Well, it raises a lot of hope for them because in Ekurhuleni, I must indicate that they are actually trying to empower women. Before I was appointed in this position, I was the HOD for Health and Social Development for almost 2 terms. Then I was appointed to be the second female Chief Operating Officer in the city. So out of 19 HODs, 9 are females, including the Chief Financial Officer. So Ekurhuleni is totally different from other metros. If we go to the city of Joburg and Tshwane, both have appointed males, and the history has actually shown that males are dominating in this particular position.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the responsibilities that come with this position as well. I mean, being able to be, it's one would say that you are the buck stops with you when it comes to this position as well, because you have to make sure that all the operations are actually kind of taken care of. Have you been managing to rise to the occasion, would you say?
Yes, for the fact that I've been in the system for ages, and for the fact that I was initially the Chief Operating Officer dealing with operations, that shows that I have the capacity to do the work, and there's nothing new. In fact, being the accounting officer is just a formality. I've been doing the work
for a while now.
For a while, yeah, I've been doing the work.
When we're looking about the work that is still to be done, especially by the city of Ekurhuleni, I understand that we're speaking with the speaker about how the mayor has actually had to crisscross, so to say, Ekurhuleni, just to identify certain challenges that have been existing in the hope to address them, and hopefully we'll hear it from his address this morning. But what have you identified as those key challenges? Now, at the back of the fact that Statistics South Africa was revealing that about over 1 million people in the city are unemployed. So clearly it's a rising concern. But what have you identified to be those key challenges that need to be tackled?
The key challenges that we have now, Ekurhuleni has the highest number of informal settlement. We're sitting at about 119 compared to other cities. And with the new term of office and with the new mayor, they have a manifesto of building 100,000 housing units. That is a challenge. We need to get a budget for that. We need to have programs and contracts in place to ensure that we build those houses within our term, that is 5 years. There's also a challenge of unemployment. In terms of our program as a city, we have local economic development programs, wherein we have programs that empower youth, programs that empowers women, programs that empower the ordinary citizens. And we also have challenges on electricity. Our informal settlement obviously are not electrified. And in terms of our plan, we want to electrify all the informal settlement. We have already started in Winnie Mandela, and we are going to electrify more of them. Like I indicated that we have 119. The other issue is proper sanitation in the informal settlement. We have a plan currently. In terms of the norms, we're supposed to offer 1 toilet to 10 families. So in terms of the new program and the new budget, we're going to offer 1 toilet to 5 families. That is a bit, decent for them. And we are definitely going to service those toilets 8 times a week to make sure that our people in the informal settlement, at least they have a decent sanitation. The other issue in terms of healthcare services, our healthcare services are actually better than other areas, but for the fact that our people are not only getting sick during the day, because our clinics obviously are accessible. We are engaging with the province and national health department to offer more services during the night. That is extended clinic hours. We've currently identified 3 clinics. that is going to make sure that our people after work, they're able to actually access those services.
Yeah.
These are some of the challenges: unemployment, lack of housing,
One would say that,
poor service delivery.
yeah, understandable, Dr. Imogen, but one would almost ask, what has been hampering, especially when it comes to the problems that have been identified? I mean, you've been in the system for a while, so you've seen the problems that have been identified. What has been that hindrance to ensuring that indeed some of those programs that were supposed to be championed were not manifesting timelessly? So I understand that with the new dispensation, they've been identified key priorities, but previously, what was that hindrance to ensuring that, I mean, electrifying the informal settlements has been an age-old conversation we've been having. So where have been the slows and the snags?
Initially, how we did our budget and prioritized programs, we never looked at the readiness of programs and in terms of priorities. In the new term of office, these are some of the challenges that we've seen, and we've actually developed interventions wherein we are saying we have a stage gate programs. We look at all the projects before we actually allocate the budget. If we look at the history of Ekurhuleni, we have not been spending on capital budget because of poor planning. So with the new term, we're definitely going to make sure that those challenges that made us not to actually deliver some of the basic services to our communities are actually implemented. The other issue in terms of electrification is a choice of priorities between the executive. The new executive mayor has prioritized that.
Okay.
The previous executive mayor had his own priorities in terms of basic services. So we cannot say that those challenges were there and nothing was done. It's just the issue of prioritizing.
Well, we're definitely anticipating what's to be said this morning, and thank you so much for that honest conversation there, Dr. Imogen there. Dr. Imogen Mashazi giving us the latest in terms of what have been those key priorities and also some of the identified challenges within Ekurhuleni. Of course, she is the Ekurhuleni City Manager. I must add that the first female city manager in Gauteng province. We do stay with us here on Sunrise. We're going to take a quick break and continue shortly.